So I've got a lot of hand-me-down iPhones from my parents, and the very first one I ever got was the iPhone 5C, and its battery was always pretty lousy. A lot of these phones have, compromised batteries, and I have a 6S that I actually changed the battery already at a store. And what was happening was this 5C was pretty much a write-off, and I thought it would be, too much money to get the battery changed in it. But then I thought, thinking, why don't I look on my local internet for sale and see, if there's any deals? And it turns out that I did find a really good deal, actually two really good deals, but one of them was for a kit and a case for $35, and that was kind of like in the range of the actual repair from the store, which is probably a more reliable bet. Going to the store, because I live in Canada, it'd be about 50 Canadian dollars after tax to replace the battery. Anyway, so this deal on the internet that was is what it was. This $5 a battery. He was selling two batteries, and I can't really blame anyone who's selling stuff that cheap. But I mean, I just get the feeling that the guy's kind of disorganized, and he gave me some tools, not really the proper tools, but I did get two batteries, and I think one. I think the story was that he actually has a 5, not a 5S. Um, actually, the 5S and the 5C battery are interchangeable, but the 5S battery is a little bit bigger. So in my case, I'm using a 5S battery in the 5C. So my understanding is that he attempted to install one of these batteries in his 5 phone, and it didn't work. And that's, I guess because it has 4 pins. I'm not sure if they even share the same contact places or mountings, but one has 4 pins and the other one has 3 pins. The 5S and the C has 3 pins. So what happened was there's two batteries. It looked like maybe one he had used and he have to, maybe he removed it because he had that adhesive tape on, and it might have been sort of damaged. But one of the batteries looked like it was not ever used, and that was the one that I attempted to install. If I ever use the other one, it'll probably be a last resort. But this is a really last ditch project because, again, I didn't really want to spend a lot of money on this. And it's kind of like I don't know how long this phone is going to be supported because it's like sort of a 3G phone. So I took this as an initiative into having a primitive camcorder or emergency network modem, data modem for like $10 or something, which it probably is. So I took a pretty decent sort of public transit trip significantly west of where I live, and this is the actual house and mailbox which I left at $10 in to get a small bag of these two batteries and some random tools. So I gathered up my available tools, and the tools I got from them were kind of useless. The only thing I really got was like a very small plus screwdriver, which I kind of had some precision ones of my own. I used my own tweezers, and some of the tools were sort of broken already. What was immediately obvious was the two screws by the bottom there that you have to take out to release the screen weren't any type of screw that I had a tool for, and it was actually shaped like a star. And what I figured out you could do is I have kind of a little knife there you see there that has always been useful to me, and I just put the very end in so it reached two arms of that star, and I managed to get the screw out that way. And it actually didn't deform the screw, but it took a little bit of paint off the screw. So again, since I don't have that suction cup, of course I don't have it. What I found out you can do through looking at some other people's stuff was that you can use a very thin knife to go right to the edge of that outer casing and sort of push on it, creating a little gap that you can go in there and just push up that outer casing just a bit to be able to get in there with something else. So once the just the slightest raising of that platform, what you want to do is you want to distribute the load on that whole thing by going around with a very thin plastic object and trying not to go too far in there to hit something that's inside the machine. So this is the view of when I pulled up that cover, and of course there's some connections to the front screen there that are in the upper right corner, and you want to not put pressure on those cables. And you'll have to take off the metal plate there and take out the connectors to be able to remove that upper screen. But you can also you can do all this by just being careful, I suppose. But I played it kind of safe. Or you can say it's kind of safe because it's kind of hard to get those connectors back on if you choose to do it. But I myself had a lot of trouble getting that battery up because the adhesive strips had been frozen or solidified into something that you couldn't really take out easily. So this is the view with the top screen removed. And what happened was, I knew there were three connectors, but I mistook one of the connectors for the top screen is actually going somewhere else. And I kind of had trouble getting it back in, but eventually I did. And actually, when I put the metal plate on the connectors back on, something went wrong, and one of them was obviously not in the right place. So I had to take it off and put it all back together again. Hopefully, and it seems that it survived all that, but I would have been worried with all that force on it that something could have been damaged. But the phone does appear to be working properly right now. So here's a closer picture with that connector that was not connected that eventually I had to try to get on there. A lot of the connectors they don't make great connection until you put the plate back on, so you have to kind of watch them and kind of pray that they're going to stay on until you get the plates back on. So here I was trying to do the right thing and take each of these strips and then peel them back along the edges, but they just broke. And when I had to go in with a screwdriver and kind of very carefully avoid other things in the iPhone and start prying up that battery, and then eventually I got it off. And in the very end, I just used my hands to sort of pull at it. But it did curl up, and I was a little bit worried that it was going to start on fire. But I mean, it was a really sucky battery that was dead anyway, so I don't even know if it was possible to cause a fire at that point. So this is the view with the battery removed, and there's a little bit of scratching of that bottom metal plate by screwdrivers prying that battery off. So here's a view of the new battery, the replacement battery installed, and the plates back on, ready to be closed up. And what was the problem here was I didn't install new adhesive tape. For some reason I didn't really question that, and I didn't have them, and they're actually present in that advertisement from his ad, but I did not receive them in that bag, and it's unfortunate because I might have put it back in. But when I'm moving around this phone, it doesn't seem to be moving, but it's generally not a good thing to have a free battery inside these phones, but I'm hoping that it's big enough that it's kind of jammed in there and it just doesn't want to move. And if that's the case, it might save me. But again, this is only a $10 project, and it's kind of a phone that was on its last legs. So I'm not really too concerned, but it could have been done probably better. In the future, getting a complete kit might really be a wise thing, or a learning experience in this case.
Okay, Pastor, let's hope that we did this right. I want to see if I get anything on the screen at this point. Come on. Ooh, at least something's happening on the screen. Because it's trying to charge. At least I've got an image, so that's a good thing. I'm going to put the screws back in there. Hello, Mr. Video. Okay, Mr. Video. It's not rolling. Mr. Video. Scary stuff. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. It doesn't seem to be responding, but maybe it's because it's a comportrait anyway. It's responding to me doing this. What here? Yeah, the only real problem is it doesn't seem to, a lot of times it doesn't seem to respond. Maybe it's because it's a low battery or something. They're kind of doing it now. Hello.